With solving rational expressions, we want to factor, we want to find a common denominator, then we're going to lose the denominator so we can solve for the variable. So in this case, we are going to start factoring to begin with. So we've got x minus 3 over, we're going to take out the GCF out of both of these terms. So 2 is the greatest common factor, and we're left with x plus 5. And that's going to make it way easier for us to find a common denominator later. Plus 2x minus 12. And that's all over 1. So what I'm going to do rather than that, rather than leave it in this form, I'm going to go ahead and take out the GCF of 2x and 12, and that's 2, the greatest common factor, in case you don't know what GCF stands for. So we get x minus 6, and we get equals 2, and we're factoring a quadratic, so we've got two sets of parentheses, break up your variable, and we look here and it's a negative. That means we've got a 1 positive and 1 negative. And what times what gives you 18, whose difference is 3, and that's 6 and 3. And it's a positive 3, so the 6 is going to go in with the positive, and the 3 is going to go in with a negative. Now we're going to take out the GCF here, so 2, and we've got x plus 5. And there we go. So we're kind of getting an idea of what the greatest common factor is. It's 2, parenthesis x plus 5. So all I really have to manipulate is this 1 in the middle. And I have to make this to have 2x plus 5 in the denominator. X minus 6, 1. So I'm just manipulating this one here. So we're going to be solving rational equations now. And the first thing you do when you solve rational equations is factor. So I'm going to factor this, and I've got a quadratic. And I'm always going to use two sets of parentheses. I'm going to break up the variables. And I've got a positive here, and I've got a negative there, and that means I'm going to have two negatives. 4 times what gives you 12? That adds up to 8. That's 2 and 6. And we've got an x minus 2 here, and we have an x minus 6 here. So now we've got to get the denominators to be the same. So step 2 is to find the common denominator. So to do that, we're going to multiply. This is x minus 2 in parentheses because that's an expression, so it all comes together. X minus 2, x minus 6 are a common denominator. We're going to multiply the top and bottom by x minus 6. And here we're going to multiply the top and bottom by x minus 2. And we've got our common denominator. And this is encased in parentheses as well. So what we can do now is lose the denominator, and the only reason why this is possible is because we can multiply the whole top by x minus 6, x minus 2. So what's going to happen is all of these are going to cancel out because we're multiplying. This is going to be x minus 6, x minus 2, and cancel, 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 cancel. And over here, we're going to multiply this by x minus 6, x minus 2, x minus 2, and cancel, 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 and the same is going to happen here, x minus 6. Sorry, I'm running out of room. But anyway, they're going to cancel, 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 cancel. Okay, so now we can just write it with our tops, or with our numerators, I should say. So we've got 4 is equal to x minus 6 remains, plus x minus 2. And now we can just solve it. So we've got 4 is equal to x squared minus 6x plus x minus 2. Our next step is going to be 4 is equal to x squared minus 5x minus 2. And we've got x squared minus 5x minus 6, because I subtracted 4 to both sides. And you wind up with is equal to 0. So we're going to factor this. We've got 1 positive and 1 negative, simply because that's negative. We're going to break up our quadratic term, and we've got a 6 here. We've got a 1 here. We've got two solutions for x. X plus 1 is equal to 0. X minus 6 is equal to 0. So x is equal to negative 1, 6.